this is not a complicated one, it sounds worse than that. Prepare a schedule. Okay. Prepare a schedule to allocate the fair value, book value differentials to SOF, which in this case is the child's net assets. So what we're getting at, they're trying to tell us, we're having to figure out, okay, there's a difference, right? Our value, we paid 5.4 million, and we're going to check the what is the book value, and then we'll check what the difference is, and we'll have to allocate some. So how would you do a schedule like that? Not a big deal. So let's, first thing, before you can start allocating, you've got to know what the difference is. Does that make sense, the excess? Okay, so we have to look at what we did. This is why they had to do that one problem. We had to back into our, they actually before to back into the shares, now they say now back into the fair value. We don't know what, so we know in theory that if we bought 80% of a company for 5.4 million, that we can divide 5.4 million by 80% and get to the 100%. Does that make sense? So we're trying to get, and the only reason we're trying to do this, we're trying to determine if, well, how much is it going to be a gain or loss? Did I overbuy, underbuy? I don't know. We won't know. We need to allocate it. So the first thing is there's the cost. That's what I did. But here's the fair value, and it says So we get back to the fair value from this. What is the book value of this company? Well, I think it tells us, right? It says, oh, right there, the book value, and then that's down to 5 million, right? Okay. So right away, we got excess of fair value. We got something we got to allocate, right? Okay. So here's the problem, though. It's going the other way. So we're gonna have a bargain. It was a bargain purchase. Have a gain. So the first thing they said, well, look down here and see. So you have to go through the list. And did they do that? They didn't do that. So what I did was, in my book, I just kind of went through and did the same thing here, but I just went through and said plus, minus, plus. I just want to see the differences between the columns. So you might do that on an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. Just do the difference. And if you were to come down to it, you would have seen that current assets, the book value was 2, was up, you had $1,000 you can allocate there. Equipment, there was another 2,000 you can allocate there of the difference. And so the actual net asset allocation was an increase of 3,000, right? Okay. So here's, look what happens. So of this 17.5, part of this is going to be allocated to the current assets. Part of it's going to be allocated to equipment based on looking at those schedules. There's your 3. Well, the difference is actually, to get down to my fair value, is going to be a bargain purchase. We had to squeeze into that number. That was a squeeze. It's a credit. Credits are income. So that means this person's going to pick up income on a profit and loss for this. So you might write the word squeeze. They use it a lot in accounting, even on the CPA exam, that you're going to squeeze back into a number. Sometimes the numbers, the only way you can get to it is by doing everything else around it and then backing into it. That's kind of the idea. So, and then they'll tell you, you can read all that if you want. So, okay, so let's kind of debrief